Hello, everyone. I'm John Higgins, contributing writer to Film and TV Now, and I am delighted to welcome one and all to this interview special with filmmaker Jan Miller Corran, who's the writer and director of the romantic road trip drama Along Came Wanda, which is the story of a wife and mother's desire to rediscover herself for a friend who's taken her on a road trip in the midst of divorce. Jan, a warm welcome to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I was reading up on your background, and I understand you were a psychologist and worked in mental health before getting into this film. And this is your directorial debut. So just out of interest, it would be interesting to know, well, how did you make the transition from one career to another?
Film, I've always loved film. I actually, when I was working as a psychologist, this is I'll make a long story short. I was looking to do a fundraiser and got on a Kickstarter. And I don't know, do you have Kickstarter in the UK?
Oh yeah, we've got all kinds of things. I mean, it's crowdfunding is is big. You know, we have a thing called Greenlit here, which people
same idea.
Yeah.
So I saw that somebody needed money for a film. So I donated $25 and they invited me on set. And so the bug bit me. I really just fell in love with it all over again. And from there, I just began getting involved on the producer side of films, even though I've been a writer for a long time, then went on to begin writing, and then here we are. Now I'm directing.
Mm-hmm. So obviously what's interesting is it came out of the effect of what's been going on over the last 2 years, and there was also a need to reassess your priorities. What was the start off point for the script?
It actually, you hit the nail on the head. You know, the pandemic for all of us could not have been more tragic. We were all angry, we were sick, and my hope is that people would take this time, this forced time away from work, and really assess what they wanted to do once all of this would come to an end. We all knew someday, you know, we'd throw open the doors and be ready to live our lives. So that was really the impetus for writing the story, showing what one person does after sort of 20 years stuck in a rut, and deciding, nope, now I can really do something different with my life.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the amazing cast. I mean, it's a fantastic group of actors, and I think I really got into the story and the performances. You really do get a sense that these people are going on a journey and discovering their own sense of well-being. So tell us more about them.
Constance Brenneman, I met Constance, who plays Mary Beth, about 9 years ago. She was in a film that I executive produced. And I said at that time, someday I'd love to do a film with her. So when I wrote this, I saw Constance as Mary Beth. I've known Kathy DeBuona, who is our Wanda, and for a number of years, and she couldn't have been more perfect cast as Wanda. The other actors I've known, the only actress I did not know prior was Roberta Hanlon, who is to me, the divine Davina Moonbeam, our psychic. So it was just a great cast to pull together.
Mm-hmm. And tell us a bit more about your production team and the crew that you worked with to get this film done.
Everybody was Los Angeles based. We filmed in North Hollywood and up in the Los Angeles hills in Sylmar. So pulled in a wonderful crew, not a large crew. And of course, we were dealing with having to be safe in a pandemic, trying to film in the middle of that, which added just another layer. Young cinematographer Cameron Schmucker, who brought to me great vision for the film, had a mind's eye that I loved. So all in all, it was definitely a local crew, and most I had never worked with before. The post-production I had worked with on other films I've done. But this was new for me, and I don't know, in a pandemic, you sort of become a big family, 6 feet apart.
Mhm. Okay, and obviously, expanding on that question, because actually you've answered part of this, through your production team answer. I mean, obviously the logistics of filming on location in LA with strict pandemic regulations. I mean, how much of a challenge was that? Did you get resistance from people? Were they a bit, wary of the fact that you were out there, when technically you're meant to be indoors and stuff?
Well, I think I had to do a lot of reassurance to the actors and the crew that I definitely was setting it up to be as safe as possible. We are required at that time, and still are, to have a COVID supervisor on set who tests you and takes your temperature every day, and you jump through every hoop. The Screen Actors Guild required that we test everybody every other day, which we set up, and they come to set and they do that. So there are a lot of things that you have to do for that. But mainly it was just assuring people that we were going to do everything possible to make it a safe set. And we did, thank goodness, achieve that. No one ended up getting ill at any time.
So obviously, let's talk about the theme of the film. I mean, how important is spiritualism in your life?
It is. Spiritualism is very important. I wouldn't say I'm a religious person, but definitely I'm a spiritual person. And I thought, this is a time when maybe whether it's religion, spiritual, whether it's Buddhist, Catholic, anything, a time for people to sit back maybe and revisit that and see if there's a place for it in your life, if it matters.
And how have you changed since making this film?
Gee, that's a great question. How have I changed? I guess a big sigh of relief. I, was very, to suddenly write something and then wear so many hats and be a producer. And, this is an indie film, so everybody wears many hats to make it. And then to make it, be a director in it was daunting for me. And, you just hope that you know what you're doing. And at the end, you have a great product. So for me, when it was all done and I played the finished film, sigh of relief. I love it. To me, it's just a wonderful film. And every time I see it, it makes me feel good.
Okay. And talking of the whole, your directing of actors, I mean, did you do much rehearsal? Was there much, was there improvisation? Did you work to the script? I mean, what were there specific changes during the production when you were working with the actors?
Actually, there were some improvisational moments in it. We stuck to the script. I mean, it didn't change. However, Kathy DeBuono, again, who's Wanda, is just tremendously great comedic timing. And she would say, can I try doing it this way? And you tell me if you like it. And 9 times out of 10, I loved her version better than mine. So we stuck with that. So other than, maybe Kathy doing a lot of improv throughout, there wasn't that much change from the script.
Okay, so I understand the shooting schedule was 11 days, and yeah. So I just wanted to know, I mean, how long were the days? I mean, how, in terms of that tight schedule, I mean, obviously, did you plan accordingly? I mean, what sort of things were there any elements that sort of hit you on specific days? I mean, just curious to know how you sort of organize an 11-day schedule.
Well, I had a wonderful first assistant director who did that. The juggling comes with having to make sure that you have enough hours to not have the day go too long. And also we're filming the daytime and nighttime. We filmed at the end of February, 1st of March. And so our days were beautiful, they were 70 degrees, but at night it could be 35 degrees in the Los Angeles mountains. And, so that was a bit of a challenge to keep everybody toasty warm as we were filming at, 10 o'clock at night. And, juggling your day to make it happen. We did not have these long 16-hour days, though. Tried to keep it realistic. I don't think it's fair to actors to make them be on set for, more time than they get to sleep.
Okay. And one big question, I ask this a lot to filmmakers, is diversity and gender are big issues in the media at the moment. I mean, this film is a kind of LGBTQ romance and drama, and I think obviously it's a great example of what you do in the film like this. I mean, where do you feel progress has been made, and where do you feel work needs to be done?
I do think there's a lot of progress has been made. This could be a whole interview for 2 hours, but I think that now the doors have opened to be much more inclusive. I think people are much more vocal about fighting for the right to be seen. A lot more women are directing now. A lot more people of all genders, races, are in the films, directing, producing, writing, and they're being recognized. I would love to see the day when we aren't at an award show and someone is announcing, oh, we have a woman, that's been, nominated, or, oh, this is the third Black woman to be, to win this award. I would just love to see the day when we're just people doing our jobs, hopefully doing them well, and being rewarded for the job we've done, not the ethnicity or any other background. And I think that will come, I hope.
And who are your key cinematic influences?
You will notice in the film, I like to use the fourth wall. I loved it, to express to the audience. The other day, someone said to me, oh, it reminds me of Michael Caine when he would turn and face the audience and interject. And so anytime I see a film or the TV show Fleabag, was a great influence. When she would be going about and then all of a sudden turn and say something to the audience. So watched a lot of every episode of that show because I thought it was a brilliant show, and picked up a lot of cues from, her.
And two final questions before we wrap up. I mean, what issues and themes are you keen to explore in your future work?
I would like to explore, I've always, I have sort of a hobby, very interested in the paranormal. And I've, with the man in the film, Adam Huss, who plays Carl, who is the ranch hand. I've known him a long time, and we have written a thriller together, which has a ghosty element. And I'd like to explore getting that out a little bit. Do not feel that I need to be doing a documentary. I'm not up for that. So, but it was fun writing a rom-com. Have always done dramas, and this was fun, and I probably would like to do that again.
And finally, my final question is, what are you most proud of about Along Came Wanda?
I'm most proud about it being so overwhelmingly embraced, and especially by a lot of men have sent me messages and emails saying, oh, this I didn't know, I thought this would be the woman's film, and that they really got a tremendous amount out of watching the film, and it seems to have captured people of all ages, so I'm very proud of the fact that it's gotten to be kind of universal and hasn't just gotten this niche, and not gotten out of that. And so far it's done very, very well. So I couldn't be more proud, quite honestly.
Well, Jan, I couldn't agree more with you. I think you should be proud of it. I enjoyed it tremendously. Thank you so much for your time and insights into the making of Along Came Wanda. Just for general information to everybody else watching, the film is available across various streaming platforms. For more articles, interviews, and reviews, you can go to www.filmandtvnow.com, and you can watch a replay of this interview on my official YouTube channel, John Higgins Film Review. Support independent films and filmmakers like Jan. Support the cinemas that they continue to reopen. Thank you, Jan. And I thank you one and all for watching.
Good day.